Hello children, today we are going to discuss new lesson tracing changes through 1,000 years. So what is the meaning of tracing? And in this word we are using during the drawing period. We are tracing something, pictures, isn't it? The meaning of tracing, do you know the meaning of tracing? A copy of a drawing, map or design made by tracing. Dear children, before starting lesson, we should know about the periods of history. There are three periods. The Indian history can be divided into three broad periods. The world history also. Indian history divided into three broad periods. What are they? Ancient, medieval, modern. That means ancient, medieval, modern. That means ancient history, medieval history and a modern history. And there are certain period, that means years we are mentioning. And 1 to 700 we are saying ancient period. And 700 to 1800 we are saying medieval period. And after 1800 at present we are saying modern period. So 700 to 1800 we are saying medieval period. Dear children, here medieval period can be divided broadly into two passes. One is early medieval and another one is later medieval. The early medieval means 701 to 1201. Okay. And 1201 to and 1800. This is later medieval period. This simply you can understand. And look at this picture. It is very easy to understand. During the medieval period, different groups of people came to India and brought with them different cultures. How they came to India? Through the Khyber Bolan Pass. Khyber Bolan Pass at present in Pakistan. During the medieval period, different groups of people came to India and brought with them different cultures. We have already read that in the ancient period, India had trade relations with Arabia and Arabs came to India as traders. Look at this picture and there is a Hindu Kush mountain and a Khyber Pass. Different groups of people came to India through this way. Under 1000 CE onwards, there were Turkish invasions in India. The invaders brought with them a new religion, Islam, which became an integral part of India's cultural heritage by the 12th century CE. The integration of the different cultures made a significant impact on our country. This chapter contains information about the time period of a medieval period, the major political developments in the age, importance of geographical knowledge like maps and names of places in the medieval period, names of medieval scholars who visited India, medieval documents and the language used, new social political groups and religious groups which arose in the medieval period. Before that, we should know what is a geographer. A geographer is someone who studies geography, specifically the Earth's natural environment and human society. Cartography, the science and art of map making. Cartographer means a person who makes maps. Cartography and medieval India. Cartography or map making was unknown in ancient India. The worldwide growth of trade and the expansion of empires during the medieval period created the need for accurate maps. The Arabs and the Europeans who undertook long journeys over land and sea developed cartography. India was introduced to cartography by the Arabs and the Europeans. Medieval maps of India. Most medieval maps of India were drawn by sailors who were more familiar with the coastal regions. Hence, these maps show the coastal areas in more detail than the interior regions. Here you are watching Al-Idrisi, Abu Abdullah Muhammad Al-Idrisi, Al-Qurtubi, Al-Kazani, As-Sabit, or simply Al-Idrisi, was an Arab Muslim geographer or cartographer also. Al-Idrisi and his upside down map. Al-Idrisi is a 12th century cartographer from Morocco. His upside down map, the map has the south zone at the top. The map has Arabia at the center and India to its left. Above India is an island which would be Sri Lanka. Below Arabia is Turkey and further down Europe. But the end of the medieval period, cartography became more accurate. Look at these two maps. The two maps are indicating the same area with quite different. First map you should watch upside down. First map was made in 1154 CE by the Arab geographer Al-Idrisi. The second map was made in the 1720 by French cartographer. The map 2 was made nearly 6 years after map 1. During this time, information about the subcontinent had changed considerably. Equally important is the fact that the signs of cartography different in the two periods. In Al-Idrisi's map, South India is where we would expect to find the north, and Sri Lanka is the island at the top. The place names are marked in Arabic. Medieval maps and writings of medieval authors provide valuable information about the geographical features and the names of places in those times. But the names of places mentioned in those documents and maps may have changed over time. Historians have to find out the present name and match it with old names. New and old terminology. What is the meaning of terminology? Terminology is the language used to describe a specific thing or the language used within a specific field. The records of history are written in several languages. For instance, the Persian chronicler Minhaj-e-Siraj is credited with coining the term Hindustan to refer to the areas of Haryana, Punjab and the land between Ganga and Yamuna. Whereas Babur used the same word Hindustan to describe the geography, the fauna and the culture of the entire Indian subcontinent. The famous poet Amir Khusro addressed it as Hind. Look at this picture. Take the term Hindustan for example. Today we understand it as India, the modern nation state. When the term was used in the 13th century by Minhasiraj, a chronicler who wrote in Persian, he meant the areas of Punjab, Haryana and the lands between the Ganga and Yamuna. I mentioned here with red pen. The areas included in this term shifted with the extent of the Sultanate, but the term never included South India. Now we will see the word foreigner. It means a simple term like foreigner is used today to mean someone who is not an Indian. In the medieval period, a foreigner was any stranger. You know the meaning of stranger, who appeared in a given village, someone who was not a part of the society or culture called by a foreigner. Once again I will tell, a simple term like foreigner is used today to mean someone who is not an Indian, isn't it? In the medieval period, a foreigner was any stranger who appeared in a given village. That means if anybody coming from outside, some other village or some other city, who called us foreigner. Someone who was not a part of that society or culture. In Hindi, the term Pardesi might be used to describe such a person, and in Persian, Ajnabi. Ajnabi. In Persian language, it is called Ajnabi. In Hindi, we are saying Pardesi. A city dweller, that means who came from the city, might regard a forest dweller as a foreigner. But two patients living in the same village are not foreigners to each other, even if they have different religious or caste backgrounds. Okay, thank you children. And next topic we will see tomorrow.